Hey friends, it's Sammy back with another episode of The Daily Dash. That's right, it's everything you need to know from around the world and in my life, straight from my car dashboard to yours. Today is Monday, June 18th, 2018. Let me tell you what you need to know so you're in the know around the water cooler and in Carline today. All right, there are heartbreaking stories and images coming out from the border of families being separated at the U.S.-Mexico border. There was a huge earthquake in Japan over the weekend. Sporting news, Brooks Koepka, I don't follow golf, won the U.S. Open golf for basically the second year in a row. He repeated as champion, the first to do that in 29 years. And Mexico upset Germany, the defending champions, in the World Cup. Goal! Okay, there you have it. If you missed any of that, you can always catch it below. Of course, you can find me at the Sammy Cone on Twitter and Instagram, at sammycone.com, and on YouTube. So what's going on? So yesterday was Father's Day, and let me give you just a little, I'm just looking at myself, I did shower yesterday. Little recap of the day. So we went to church. We took Dad to, aka my husband, to his restaurant of choice, which was a Brazilian steakhouse here in Nashville. Like all the meats, which was funny because my poor vegetarian daughter was like, I'll have the pineapple. So there were other choices, there were other salads, but it was kind of funny. So anyway, there was this waitress there, not our waitress, but another waitress that I don't know how else to say. I felt very drawn to. She looked very familiar. I'm horrible at that game. Usually my husband tells me not to say anything because that's how I run into Keith Urban. I'm like, you look familiar. Yeah, another story for another time. So I said something at one point, just like, have you served somewhere else? Confirm we didn't know each other, but it just like, I just kept feeling, I don't know, drawn to her. And as we were paying our check, I saw her from afar. And I felt like I was supposed to pray for her, but like pray over her, like stop her to pray. Super awkward in a busy restaurant on Father's Day. And so I'm thinking, surely she will not make it back over to our table by the time we pay our check and have to go. Big place. Of course, before we leave, she walks over and smiles. So I kind of like motioned for her to come over. And I just said really awkwardly, like, I don't know if you're a person of faith, but I just feel called to pray over you. Would it be okay if I do that? And it kind of caught her off guard, and she just said sure. And so I just put a hand on her shoulder and prayed over her. And she just said, you know, she wasn't going to church right now, but that she had asked God just to make himself more. She had been looking for God, like felt like God wasn't showing up, and had just asked for God to be more tangible, more visible. Can't remember the exact word she used. And I said, what specifically can I pray over, for you? And she said abundance, just abundance. And that she was just really trying to choose joy in the midst of difficult circumstances. And so that's what I promised to do. And so that's what I want to pray over each of you today, is just abundant joy and abundance. And just that even in the midst of when we don't feel joyful, or we don't feel like God is near us, or there's hard things going on, that he is still present, and that it's still possible to have joy in the midst of difficulty. So I would just encourage you to listen to your gut, which I would also encourage you to see if that's the Holy Spirit or not. Just give it back to God, and if it comes back to you, chances are it is. So get outside of your comfort zone. It was a great lesson in faith for me. It was great for my children just to see me kind of step outside my comfort zone and do that. So yeah, so that was our day. One other thing I will say, besides this thing we got at Home Depot on sale. Yeah. We watched Despicable Me 3 yesterday. It's free on Netflix right now. Somehow we had missed it last year. And there's a lot of reboots, a lot of sequels and TVs and movies coming out, a lot of 80s theme things going on, which I'm not hating on, don't get me wrong. But not all of them are being done real well or worth the time. This was such a great movie. It was so funny. All of the nostalgia, nods to nostalgia, were done well. It was a good storyline. We really enjoyed it. And so if you missed Despicable 3 like we did, like I said, you can catch it on Netflix for free. Check it out. All right, friends, I'm going to go. I've kept you too long as it is. I hope you have a great day wherever you are. Make sure you make it great, and do not wait to tell someone you love how you feel about them. Bye, friends.